Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Nasdaq Futures live stream this morning. Looks like, okay, we got Brad and Sniper in already. Good morning. That didn't work. Gotta find a better way of cleaning these glasses. There we go. Robin, good morning. All right. Anyone who traded London, I'm just now looking at the charts. Looks like you had a good morning if you were long. Right. All right. Black Phoenix, good morning. Tommy, JR, 17967. Okay. Oh, wow. Damn near caught it at this point here, unless you caught it in the impulse. But either way, nice catch there. It doesn't even matter how long you took it. You did well. 50 to 150 points were had there. Oh, not bad. Almost wish I had stayed up. No, don't have any regrets. Don't have any regrets. Because the thing is, 1.5 R. If you went with two contracts, and that would have been I mean, it would still been 1.5 R, but you would have gotten double the profit. So, believe in your setup, believe in your analysis, and when it works out the way you want it to, you did everything right. All right, Deepak. Yes, me too. We're all hoping for a great trading day today. We did have a news event already at 8:30, and we'll go over the calendar in just a moment. But today's going to be a little tricky navigating, or it can be. It can be tricky navigating. I won't say it will be because I'm not sure. We'll have to see what it brings. But it can be tricky just because of who will be speaking this morning. It's on a mini contract. Okay. Still, see, look at that. $1,200. Brad, I'm sure you'll be happy to collect that every day if you could. All right, Molly, good morning. Welcome back. All right, lunchtime high from yesterday just got taken as we're speaking. Highs from Tuesday are still available, New York, London, and Asia. All right, I know I was just a couple minutes late getting in this morning, but let's go ahead and get rolling. I think we have enough people here now. All right, so far today we've had the 8:30 announcement of unemployment claims, which came in exactly as forecasted. That's either someone's really good at forecasting or they got lucky. Either way, the numbers are what they are, and it says that the forecast and actual are the same. So I'm not sure if that's going to bring some type of volatile reaction, or if price action is just going to be as it was. We can look back at 8:30 and see. Yeah, see, nothing really happened. Everything happened during lunch, and then from 8:30 on, it just consolidated until right when we jumped on, and I said good morning. Then all of a sudden, price started moving again. All right, so what we're gonna do? Let's go ahead and grab the dollar first. Let's do our daily catch up on the dollar's activity. Oh, nice. This is what I was looking for. So yesterday we finally did get that breakthrough that I had been looking for. Broke through and closed below, which is a good sign. Next target is going to be here. Let's go ahead and move that down. So this is going to be sell side liquidity. Okay, so we've already taken out yesterday's low. So price could actually trade back and in the zone and maybe close in what could become a fair value gap. So there's a lot of things that can happen now once this low has been broken, because that would have been the daily objective. I mean, it went for it immediately. So we'll be careful as we navigate through this morning, especially since we know that there's going to be some news events with Powell and a few others speaking that may send price in a different direction. But either way, we can see that it's already started in a direction when we want it to go, and with sell side liquidity just below at 102.901. With that bearish bias on the dollar, then we would definitely be looking bullish for the equity markets, and we have been bullish all the way through now. So there's really no need to change, and we use the dollar as our barometer. So it's good to have the dollar agreeing with what we're looking for. Okay, slide over, take a look at E-mini S&P. Okay, yesterday I remember discussing that potentially, even though we had a fair value gap created and Tuesday's activity just tore through it without any hesitation, just tore through it, closed below. It made a significant retracement there. And I mentioned yesterday that we could possibly have a reclamation of that fair value gap if we were able to yesterday push through, which we were, but it needed to close above to reclaim this level, and it rejected out of it. So yesterday didn't, but so far today, it looks like it's potentially able to do that. We do have the all-time high, which would confirm that the fair value gap has been reclaimed. Otherwise, we have to wait until the end of the day to see if it closes above. And not just like yesterday where it trades above, but then by the end of the day, it's retraced and closing below it once again. So that's something to monitor. So we'll be looking at level 5131 to see if that price is able to hold. Let's go down to the 4 hour and see if maybe there's something there. In 30 minutes, we'll have another gap here. 4 hour fair value gap. So that's a good sign as well as far as holding price. Even if there is a retracement, there could be another bounce up towards this buy side liquidity, which, excuse me, it's the high from a couple weeks ago. I'm going to take that back. That's the high from just Monday of this week. All right, again, even on this time frame, another 35 minutes, we should have a fair value gap here that could support price as it retraces back down. We may not see that full retracement below the fair value gap that we were talking about on the daily. So price is looking good bullish here. We did sweep this high here, so there may possibly be a retracement because of that. So let's make sure that we don't get scared by retracement. It's something that we expect. Equal highs here. So that's generally a drawn price, so we can use that as we're looking for bullish setups. Get back to the daily, switch over to NQ. All right, so unlike ES, where ES traded above the fair value gap and ended up closing below, we do see a closure below as well on NQ, but the trade above, or the trade into the fair value gap yesterday was only to the midpoint. And so we want to see if we can get above this level at 18,235. So 18,235 is a level we want to see not only traded to, but sustained if we're looking to continue bullish. A failure here could see a retest of these lows here into this fair value gap once again. So if we do fail in this area, then we can reasonably expect to be back down at the 17,850 level or somewhere in that range. And then we'll see if this holds. And if not, then of course we'll look for something lower. But for now, we're still bullish. We had the retracement yesterday back into the fair value gap, retesting the consequent encroachment level for the second time. And then we saw a push out yesterday, and then we're still in continued bullish momentum today. And so let's see if that continues. We have the opening bell coming. We have Powell speaking at 10, and then we have, what's the other? What is it? Mester, member, FOMC member Mester speaking at 11:30. So there's a couple of items happening still this morning that could send price above what we're looking for. And again, that level is 18,230, 18,230. T170. Okay, here on the 4 hour. Again, just like we saw in ES, in another 30 minutes, we'll have another possible support position here with the large fair value gap on this time frame, which generally is a good time frame to support price, with it being one of the higher time frames. We did just sweep this high here yesterday, which was the high, yesterday's daily high, which then sent price closing below the fair value gap afterwards. We've seen a eclipse there. Now we want to see if price continues to build on that and continues to go up. Let's see what could be pushing it away. We have a few bearish fair value gaps here. Right at the upper edge. So if we get to the upper edge and you see price stalling a little bit, just understand that's where it is and that's what's happening. And we'll just see if it's going to be able to push through that or if that's going to be a hindrance to progress today. So we have several, several that it'll need to dig through once it starts approaching those areas. 18,260. Okay. And on the hourly, okay, very close, very similar. So with that being said, I'll just get rid of these 4 hour ones. All right, and as I was mentioning, as we were looking at the news earlier, that we did finally get yesterday's lunchtime high, which is what I was hoping the price would want to run to yesterday at 3 o'clock, and it didn't. It didn't even get close. We also have the Tuesday New York high, London high, and the Asia high. And here, just before the opening bell, we see a resurgent and continued push up. So let's get ready for the opening bell. We got about 30 seconds there. And let's check back into the chat and see who we have. All right, Miss Healthy, good morning. Dorcas. Yeah, Sniper, I think I'm with you on that one. I am expecting a decent sized retracement here, so I'm looking to see when that occurs. I thought it may happen now, but we also have Powell coming at 10, so that might be the one. Is it 10? Yep, at 10. So, but let me remove these off the screen since they're gone. Okay, let's go with our session highs and lows so we can see what's still available. Okay, obviously, previous day high is gone. This was the London high created at 450. Immediately afterwards, that was taken. Okay, the Asia high. Clearly, the Asia high was taken around 4 o'clock. We even have the Asia low, which was pushed through by the London low. So the only thing available right now is the London low. And we'll check on the New York when we get there at 10 o'clock. So let me go ahead and drop this off of our screen here. And we're going to, let's also update our New York and 8:30 open. Sorry, it's not New York at 8:30. It's midnight at 8:30. There we go. Midnight is going to be right there. And we'll update at 8:30 to here. Now I can turn that off. Hey, Chuck. Chuck's in. Khaled's in as well. Good morning. So, okay, I forgot about me. All right, we're back now. I usually like to wait and see how it shakes out. Um, my traditional threshold is about 30 minutes on high impact news drivers. So that would be, so for me, I'd be waiting till around 10:30. All right, there's 200. Who was that who said they were looking for 200? Deepak. Yeah, Deepak, there's your 200. Yeah, good job, man. Yeah, I would say that if this wasn't the manipulation, I would have thought that the manipulation would have been to the downside if it was gonna run, if it was gonna be bullish and just run away. Since there wasn't any move to the downside, my guess is yeah, this is probably manipulation, especially knowing that we have news coming in 20 minutes. Hmm. Okay, we got move close to the Asia high on Tuesday. It looks like it's retracing a bit now. It got all the way up to 25. It only needed to get to 28. All right. For anyone who just joined and missed the opening few minutes, just remember we have news coming at 10 o'clock, and that's high impact news. So if you're looking for an entry now, just make sure you're aware of that. Asia high March 5th. Sorry about that, Robin. That's March 5th. It's from Tuesday. Yeah, Brad, that's actually not a bad strategy. So you cut your basically you cut a mini in half, but you allow yourself to also practice and learn how to scale in and scale out of trades. Hey, cool, calm, collected. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, here's a slight retracement. Sort of what I was looking for earlier. All right, looks like it rejected here at these 1 hour bearish fair value gaps. Was able to push through both of them, almost reached the Asia high. But prior to the conclusion of the candle, it rejected out, closed inside of one of the fair value gaps, and immediately opening the next candle and just started dropping. Let's see if this is where it wants to land. All right, Kendrick, good morning. Yep. Yeah, Brad. And you also, once you're done, once the trade is concluded, you're able to go back and see your reasoning. Essentially, it's the same as what a lot of traders are doing in their journaling. You get able to go back and see if your thought process is correct. Even if the market goes against you, you can still at least see if your analysis was proper. And so you can still have confidence in your plan, even though, I mean, we all know that uh, every trading plan, none are 100%. So you're always going to have some losing trades, even when your analysis was proper. So that's really a good idea. I'm glad you're doing that. Sweet. Yeah, those fast drops don't make you comfortable especially if you have a limit order and you're looking for price to turn around. The faster it drops, the more you think that it's going to continue. All right, retrace back to the 8:30 open, which is where it left last time. And I think we just talked about it being a manipulation. Potentially, this is the manipulation. You'll get this dropping just before the news, and maybe the news will be the driver to send it back on its way. Lewis Clerk. Hey, good morning and welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. No, there was someone in the chat earlier was talking about potentially this was manipulation, and I'll show you what we mean by manipulation. So the London session this morning starts at 2 in the morning. So which is here essentially right here, and you can see it did a little small three candle move up there, and then it dropped, creating the low of the session, and immediately following it took off. So when people saw this, a sweep of this low right here, it led many to believe that that price was going to start selling. So you get people to jump into shorts at that moment, and immediately following, it goes the opposite direction. So that's what we mean by manipulation. You'll hear some people talk about it as a some mention it as a Judas swing, and the other term is a turtle soup, which is a turtle soup is actually a trading model where you look for this type of setup. And what you have here is essentially you have two different things that it can be called. You have the ICT 2022 mentorship model. So you have a sweep of liquidity, which happens here. You then have an impulse, the opposite direction. It creates a fair value gap, trades back down, taps it right to the tick, and then off it goes. So this is as clean an example of the 2022 mentorship model as there is. I like to trade breaker blocks, which is essentially the same thing. So you have a breaker block here. This is your manipulation. Trades above, closes above, and then you wait for it to come back and tap. In this case, it did not come back and tap. So if you were waiting for it to tap the breaker block and you had a limit order open, that never happened. So you'd have just been sitting there without a trade, unless you took a market execution once you saw it running away from you. But that's what we meant by manipulation. So a fake move in the opposite direction than it really wanted to go. Yeah, it's just the guy speaking. Let's see what he's even going to talk about. He's testifying. He's due to testify about a semi-annual monetary policy report before the Senate Banking Committee. So I don't know if he's like defending the Fed's policy on interest rates based on what their forecast is for the year. I'm not sure. And then we have Mester speaking. He's probably just speaking at some forum. Speak about the economic outlook at the virtual European Economics and Financial Center Distinguished Speaker Series. Audience questions expected. So I would say the 11:30 is just more of a speech, whereas the 10 o'clock may actually be something that drives price. Hey, Ray, good morning. It still bothers you that we didn't touch. Yeah, we got really close to it and didn't touch it. So I understand that. Now, the crazy part is this is NFP week. So don't lose that level. It may be may be important later in the week. Well, tomorrow. Thank you, Deepak. All right, is this going to drive price up, or is this just an immediate rebalance we're seeing? Robin's done. All right. Still early. Oh, you're saying you hit the like button. Yeah, you're right. Now it is, since it got close to it the other day, and now it's you have the relative equal lows even on a higher time frame, like the 4 hour and things. That's a good eye. But now you see how price works when it moves towards a level and you think it's going to take it and it doesn't. It's just setting you up for, sometime in the future where it will come and get it. TJ, good morning. Yep, sniper. The interesting part is you have the relative equal lows. You also have the relative equal highs on the 4 hour. So it could be a situation where you sweep one and then you go sweep the other. All right, let's see how this retracement goes, or if these fair value gaps, the SIBIs, are holding price here. We had a busy that was formed. I know I'm on the low time frame, but there's a busy form right here. Let's see if this retracement finds support there. And we have Powell coming on in 2 minutes. Right. So far, no huge spikes. Oh, McTony's, good morning. How's it going? Before you go. Oh, before you go. It's been a while. Mm. Yeah, Ray, I see what you're saying about the market structure shift. Yeah, because we came just shy of it yesterday before the retracement, and now we've closed above it on the hourly, which is good from the 9 o'clock hourly candle. Which, when I was looking at it when we first made uh, the less significant one that you're talking about on Tuesday, I thought that could be the start of the buy model starting on the hourly time frame. So this looks like it's almost confirmed, not quite, but oh, okay. Well, hopefully everything went well for you on your exam, Fuego. All right, let's see if these fair value gaps are going to continue to hold price. All right, let's yeah, see the so far this hour we haven't gotten a lot of movement from price, even though there was um Powell was speaking at 10. Um let's also be aware of the fact that there's been a good a bit of price movement since the London session started. So we could see the choppy conditions or some sort of consolidation this morning. So let's just bear in mind that that is a possibility. Shift this back up to the 5 minute time frame now. Okay. Yeah, Sniper. I will. I'll look into how to get that done. I know there's a way um to cut the live streams and show some things in there. So I'll give that a shot. I've never done a short before, but you're right. I think that is what's required to get more reach and start putting my name out there a little more. So thanks for that recommendation. Break the trend line. All right, Eric finally broke. You know what? While we're discussing that, let's just take a look and see where we are with the other indices. Well as USD. Let's see how the last hour closed. All right, so we had okay, decent closure on the dollar. We have a slight retracement now, which is normal. You want to see it leave this open. It'd be nice to leave a fair value gap there, protect price, and then see it push a little lower. And we see the opposite on the three indices, looking for Dow to catch up and push a little higher, so it has a bullish candle. But you know, it's still early. We're only 12 minutes into the hour. But S&P already has pushed to a new high of the day, and we're not quite there on Nasdaq, but we're looking that direction. All right, go ahead and switch back over. All right, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm definitely. Let's see if we can get to 100K in a couple years, I guess. 10K, I think would be a good goal to have sometime soon. I'm hopeful that 5K will fall this month, but I don't know how long it'll take to get to 10. So Asia's high from Tuesday has now been reached. We'll drop that off the screen. I'm sure you can see by these annotations here, but all fair value gaps on the screen, unless you see me draw them for this time frame, they're 1 hour fair value gaps. get a hold the price there, and if it will build out of it. If not, we'll just look for another setup at a later time. Oh, Queen is here. Good morning. Sorry, I didn't see that. Queen, did you trade London this morning? When I saw London, I was like, oh, I know she ate that one up. Cool, calm. I took a breaker off the 1 minute for this entry. Mm, okay. All right, as an invalidation on that one, let's look for a better entry here. What do you know? Yeah, that's right. It's still going. Yeah, struggling to push up right now. It seemed like it just kind of hit a ceiling here. There it is, finally. Yeah, it's 11:30. Mester is speaking, one of the FOMC members. Yeah, I need to now figure out where I want this thing to pause on me. All right, Tommy. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to get to around 250 or so I can move my stop to break even, and then we see what happens from there. $324. Yep. It could, Brad, if you find a fair value gap anywhere from the 1 to the 5 minute, it could be. Okay, let's see what's going on now. So price retraced back into the breaker here. Another 2 minutes on this 5 minute candle. Let's see how it closes for us. We can measure the candles and see if it price trades back to 50%. Okay, here's the 50% mark. It did trade back into 50% of this candle. So let's hope that was the objective, and now it's ready to move. Crab Nation, is that you say EU40? Is that I'm not sure what that is. Only 40 I know is Jur 40. All right, Molly. Congrats on making your goals for the day, and we'll see you next time. Oh yeah, so yeah, generally when it's trending, what it'll trade back into the previous candle half and then continue on. So I'm just uh, looking for it to continue and make a new high. So this candle had already made a new high, so it was just retracing. But now hopefully, once we get similar level in this wick, which is right around my entry, if it'll just continue upwards. But I will say the fact that it hasn't just moved along just yet is that it might want to hold around until the next macro period and move then. So my entry may be in jeopardy there. But it's kind of like a retracement trading into premium or discount before moving up. It's the same principle. You want price to be balanced before it moves on. Oh, Jur 40. Okay, got it. Crap. Yep. All right. While I wait for this, I'm gonna go and grab a cup of coffee. Just bear with me for just a couple moments. I'll be right back. All right, I think it's okay if we move to break even now. Oh, what did Queen say? Oh, yes, I did answer her on that one. Yeah, so whenever I'm looking for it, it's just this, it's very similar to like when you see a retracement on a price leg, you want to see it move into discount. So you're looking for it to reach 50% before moving up, or if it's going down, you want to see it move into a premium above 50% and then continue downward. So it's more or less on a price leg up, you see it balance itself. So for instance, and if it misses one, it'll usually come back. And that's why you can't get too excited when it moves up. So like, for instance, this was the candle I was looking at, right? And so the immediate next candle, it moved and made a new high, but it didn't trade down to 50%. But the candle after that traded all the way through this candle and to 50% of the previous candle. And then from there, now I'm expecting price to be balanced here and then want to move up. So it's just a way to follow the trend as it's going and just kind of gaining some confidence in the trade that you're in. All right. I'll take 700 bucks. That's fine. Didn't have multiple contracts. I don't want to go less than that. It's all good. We have a macro coming soon. All right, TJ, you go. Thanks, Robin. Tony, appreciate it. Got to start going in with multiple contracts. Yep, macro coming up in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we'll have the 1050 to 1110 macro. Yeah, you're right, Robin. Multiple micros. It's also an option. Yeah, it would have been nice to see if price could get up to the new week opening gap at what's that, 326 or in that area. I think that's the same one Queen was talking about earlier. 324. Yep. Mm. Oh yes. Oh, it did make it. All right. Well, while we have a little time just before the macro, we got 2 or 3 minutes. Let's take a look and see. It's at ES at an all-time high. It sure did. 51.57. Actually, no. Let me go ahead and just put a marker here. Sweet. All right, so it broke through, dollar broke through, and it's continuing to push lower. Excellent. Okay, let's get back over to our chart here. In fact, let's slip down to the 1 minute since we have the macro coming in 1 minute. Cool, calm. You should trade it with standard deviation extensions. So what you'll want to do is you want to take the previous retracement before the last leg. You probably want to do it on a higher time frame, but you can do it on a small time frame too for just a short trade. But what you want to do is measure the retracement So I'll just show you. For instance, this retracement right here, if I measured that, oops, sorry. You see how you have these numbers above? 100% is an equal move to this. And so you would do it that way. You would expect that once price breaks this level, that you could then trade to 1 standard deviation, then trade to 2 standard deviations, and so forth. Just going to continue on. So what you want to do is start scaling out. Maybe at 1 standard deviation, you take a partial. At 1.5, you take a partial. At 2, you take a partial, that kind of thing. So that's how you trade it once you reach an all-time high, because you don't have any price action to go against. Jimmy, a macro in trading terms is a set of instructions for a price to seek liquidity. So it's either going to run for a fair value gap somewhere where it's going to break structure, or it's going to run to some pool of liquidity, some target if you're already in a trade during this time period. So it happens the last 10 minutes of the hour and the first 10 minutes of the following hour. So it's a 20-minute time period where price is going to seek some level of liquidity. So we already saw as we were, marching our way up, price structure on this 1 minute. And I put these two lines here to see if price broke this low, breaking this low. Now on this short time period, it's now showing it moving bearish. And then you got to figure out where it's going. So we have fair value gap here. They could trade to. Then you have another one here, which it already touched. Yep. You have one here as well. And then you have your swing point, swing low, swing low. So it's figuring out where is price going. And from there, you can decide whether you want to take a trade or not. So what I normally look for in these situations, I normally look for it to create a breaker. And in order to create the breaker, of course, if I'm bullish, I want to see first a sweep of lows, and then I want to see it return and take out this high. And then from there, I'm looking for my setup. Oh, no problem. Cool, calm, collected. Splash. Good morning. Welcome. On the 5-second. What? I don't even think I have the 5-second chart here. Let's look at the 5-second chart for 30 seconds and just see how quickly this thing moves. I don't even know if I could trade off of this. You said change in state of delivery here. Oops. So here are those two black lines I drew to see where it was going first. And of course, it broke through it lower, traded back up, and then crashed down further. Yeah, this is fast for me. I can somewhat deal with 15 seconds, but 5 seconds is very fast. All right, we'll go back up to the minute. All right, let's also put a measurement on this thing here and just see where we are on the retracement. All right, so we see this level here that it's retraced to is about 83.5%. It's also consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Paid to the tick. It went to the lower edge right here. So now we have a completely balanced price range here. We have both buy side and sell side. Now we see where price wants to go next. All right, Queen, I'll catch you next time. We'll catch you this afternoon, probably. 3 to 5 minute breaker. Okay. Yeah, I'll be looking for those as well. As we see price building back up, let's see how it reacts when it gets back to the level that it broke. This line that it broke for structure. When it gets back up, let's see how it reacts there, whether it pushes lower or whether it doesn't find any resistance and it's able to continue moving. $1,500 ticks. Jesus. Nice, nice. And that's from the entry at 921. Okay. Yeah, so far we've had almost the opposite price action or movement as we had on Tuesday. Tuesday was a large range, but it was a bearish candle, and today we have around the same range but bullish. Yep, yeah. Tuesday was about a 400 point day from high to low. Yep, and we're at about 350 already today. Hey, these fair value gaps held price last time. Let's see if they hold price once again. So we saw first price traded up right through this 1 hour fair value gap. You can barely see it. It's just maybe a point. Traded right through it until the larger one above. Once it traded back down, now we see it held price here. Yeah, exactly. Waiting to see if there's going to be a breaker formed. Yeah, that 5 minute candle at 1050. Yeah, that lets me, it's leading me a little bearish on the short term. Okay, let's shift up a time frame here. Yeah, I'll leave that. Yeah, Queen. I was looking at the 1 hour, and the 1 hour was showing me that we are likely in a buy model. And so, yes, we can see some retracements where we'll see price pull back some, but at least long term for the rest of the week, I'm bullish. Let me go to the 4 hour, show everybody where we are. So here on the 4 hour, we see we had a bearish fair value gap here that was traded through, closed above. Then we had one that was here between these two candles, or those three candles. It's currently being traded above. So this candle hasn't closed. It has another 3 hours, so it'll take some time. But we'll see if this one closes above and cancels out this fair value gap. Then there's one here as well. So let me just draw it so you can see. Okay, so we have those two that we hope will be invalidated by this candle here. All right, so if we can get a closure above 270, a closure above 270, and it's okay. Well, that's going to be a while. It's basically at 2 o'clock. So after lunch, we get a closure above 270, invalidate both fair value gaps here, and you can see after that on the 4 hour there aren't any fair value gaps that we need to worry about after that. It's then just these relative equal highs at 377, which is also what we know as the all-time high. So what we saw on ES this morning, where it reaches the all-time high and is pushing up, if we believe in the same for NQ, which I do, we just need to close above 270, and then we can be fairly confident that bullish momentum will continue. All right, we have concluded the macro period, and nothing really to talk about. No big liquidity sweeps or structure changes. Breaker on the 5 minute below. Mhm. I think this is a rather important candle here. to see if there's going to be a retracement on this candle or if it'll continue to move upwards. Now it has made a new high already over the previous candle, so it's still making progress. But it will be interesting to see how it closes, whether we get a rejection candle or if it finishes bullish. All right. Anyone who just joined since the last 10, 12 minutes, 11 o'clock, welcome to the channel. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat. All right. Got another minute on the 5-minute candle here. It looks like it's likely going to finish bullish. So we may see a continuation of the trend. All right. A doji. So we got nothing there. 5 minutes of nothing. Just collecting orders, I see. So we did get a trade into half of this candle, the last bullish candle before, right as the macro was starting, and we had this large bearish candle that moved market structure on the lower time frame, like the 1 minute. So I just wanted to see it trade back into this candle, which it just did, and then I was looking just to see how would it react to that. So we'll continue to monitor. Let's see what the next candle brings. It was a doji here, which really didn't give us much, but the next candle could push through. Let's peek over, take a look at the others, see where they are. Okay, so we have the Dow collapsing so far. Doing a deeper retracement. Let's see how that reacts when it gets to the fair value gap down around 800, 800. S&P not doing a whole lot right now, and NQ's looking bullish, maybe on its way going for the all-time high, since S&P's already reached its all-time high. So it could just be consolidating at the moment, or maybe getting ready for a retracement to one of these fair value gaps that it built along the way. Right, didn't get a retracement back into this swing high once it traded above. Well, I guess we kind of did here, but not a full retracement. NQ didn't get it either, and looks like now the Dow is actually pushing in that direction to ensure that it does it, and maybe it'll find support right here, like I said, 38,800 area. Um, hey Brian, go into the Discord and send me a message, and we can discuss that. All right, getting back to the 5 minute. You'll find the Discord in the description of the video. All right, still finding trouble here in this 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So we may just have price hanging on for a while, but keep in mind, FOMC member Mester is coming online in 10 minutes. I'm not sure what that's going to do for price, because I mean, he's just speaking at a forum, but it's a medium impact event that they're predicting. 333. So it's about all right. Well, he's finally getting some traction here. Going for the high just at 1045. This will flip everything back bullish on the lower time frame, like on the 1 and the 2 minute. It never switched on the 5 minute. 5 minutes always been bullish. All right, there we go. So we do have the high reach. Here's our protected low here at 235. This low is swept, then we're no longer bullish on this time frame. Mhm. After trend day bought and paid for by Brandon. Tonight he will take credit for it. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I understand the last comment. What was that, Laughter? What do you mean? Four, three. All right, 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the next news event. Remember, we have 11:30 FOMC member Mester speaking. And Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland is what he represents. He's speaking at the European Economics and Financial Center Distinguished Speaker Series. So we'll see what that does for price action. Right, so here we are. I'm sure the first second of 11:30, Mester stepped up to the podium and said, "Hello, good evening, good morning, whatever, wherever he is." And price is already reacting. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. In the political climate, everyone's going to say that they're driving price, and in fact, it really doesn't matter what they're doing. Hey, Clinks, welcome back. All right, so fair value gap that was created just before the news event has now been closed in. So that's good to see. Let's see if we have any unbalanced price somewhere down in this area. We had trade up, trade down, trade away, which is good. In this area, we had a trade up, trade back down, trade away. Excellent. Up, down, away. Here on, up, down. Now we need price to trade away. $17,976. Okay, so you got in during the European session. All right. Yeah, I'm looking for a minimum of a run up to 18,333. But then also we have the equal highs up at the all-time highs. So that's at, 375. So it's another 40 points. And we'll see how high it wants to go from there. But I'm definitely looking for the all-time high to be broken this week, if not broken this afternoon. Yeah, you're right. That's an excellent entry, Miss Healthy. I mean, entry was so good that you can be adding as you go. And even as it's moving your average entry up, you still have a stop loss that leaves you in profit. And, if you do it right, if it reaches target, and you could trade, that could be your one trade for the month, depending on if you're doing minis or if you're doing micros. Yep. In another 25 minutes, the hour will close and we'll see if this hourly bearish fair value gap is still valid and still holding price. Move this out of the way. We got one more retracement in us before reaching the top, as I was talking about earlier, either at 333 or the all-time high at around 380. So I'm not going to be alarmed by retracement here. Okay, now we have the rebalance on the 5 minute. So it came up and touched that wick right there. 696. Let me see, where did Queen say she got in at? Let's see, what was the value of the turtle soup this morning? See where he entered. Okay, so the turtle soup was here, breaking down at 937. Okay, right at the midnight open. It's not bad at all. Yeah, you could have taken the turtle soup here, and then when you saw the breakout, so this is your 2022 model, and then you have your fair value gap right here. So the best entry most people got probably was around 767. So yeah, you're off by 9 points from the best entry that you could have hoped for, as far as the safest entry for the strategies we use on this channel. So oh no. Oh, I thought you made it, Ray. I thought you got in that early and then you were able to let it run. Man. But at least you knew what you saw, and it was a spot on analysis. All right, we got another macro coming in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We'll have the 1150 to 1210 macro. Okay. All right. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to enter this buy. I try not to trade during lunch, just so that gives me an hour from looking at the charts. If I wasn't live streaming, I probably would take more lunch entries. But since I'm live streaming, I need to make sure that I'm here for the full day. I try to take that hour off, so I try not to take any entries. I'm just looking at the way things are setting up now, and that this may be a good little run. Right, and that may be what happens during this macro period, the next 20 minutes. This is where to run to reach target possibly. But I am expecting some level of retracement at some point today, since it's just been heavily bullish the whole time. So I think the lunch hour could bring that, unless we reach whatever target the market makers had for the day, and then we'll see a retracement for the end of the day. Um, but I'll wait until I come back at 1300 and then reassess the market and decide what I want to do. But I did take this long in a demo account about 20 minutes ago. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. Holding all day. All right. Good luck. All right, we're at about 400 points for today's range already. Keep that in mind as we trade during the afternoon. That price may be exhausted, or you may want to hold back a little bit and wait for tomorrow to end the week. But if we do run all-time highs today, um, then I myself will probably be a little cautious tomorrow, knowing that it's NFP and that it would have reached its target for the week already. All right, Clinks. Explain how it works. Well, typically when we get into that time frame, um, I'm looking for either a reversal or a continuation. So I'm looking for a break. If there's already a breaker, I'm looking for it to trade into that breaker and activate my trade during this time period. Right. So that's one of the things I look for. Um, And if I'm already in a trade, like let's say I entered a trade during the last breaker and we're still moving and moving and moving along, if there's a pool of liquidity somewhere like a session high, like let's say the London high or the New York high, and it hasn't been taken yet, but I'm already in a trade, I'm looking for that goal, that target to be met during the macro period. So it just seems like during this time period is when price really gets energetic and starts moving to a particular place. Now there's a macro at um, 8:50 in the morning, at 9:50, at 10:50. So there's several. So you will get some macros where you sit there for 20 minutes and you notice that price didn't do anything. Um, and so it's not every macro period that something happens. It's just during that period, I'm looking to see if something's going to happen. And that's what gives me the little added confidence to go with my trade if I'm not in already. like cool, calm. Like for instance here, if we were looking for a continuation of the bullish price range, right, you want to see a retracement back to 50%. And so after this high was swept by this high, right, then I measured the next leg until the retracement started. And when the retracement started, I'm looking for now price to trade into a discount anywhere from 50 to 88%, and then continue on with the optimal trade entry being 61 to 78%. Now, I wasn't trading optimal trade entry today. I'm usually looking for breakers. But if you were trading optimal trade entries, let me just go and give us a different color, right? If you were trading optimal trade entry, you can see that price traded below 50%. And if you look at the candles, look at the time at the bottom, it's 10:52, which is the 10:50 to 11:10 macro. So from 10:50 to 11:10, we had several times where price was trading below 50%. And if you were looking for a long, you would have been entering either at 50, at 61, 70, 78, any of those. But it happened in the macro period. So that's what you would have been looking for. And that would have given you a little extra confidence that that was the trade for you, as opposed to it just happening at any moment in time. Yep. Yes. So we're in a macro now. It's 11:50 to 12:10. And we'll look and see if we can break above this breaker and close. Notice on a 1 minute. Let me see if I can find one on E. Yeah. Let's go back to the 2. Look, the entry that I had set up here is also 50% of the breaker. Wasn't done on purpose. But then that's a confluence that you like to see. Let's see. I think it's 50% of this as well. Yes, it is. So this fair value gap. A lot of things happening right here at this price point of 279. I think I took this right here off of a 5-minute fair value gap. So here we are on a 5-minute. Yep. So this is 5-minute fair value gap here. I took it off at the bottom of this candle. Let's go back to the 2-minute and let's watch this macro that we're in. Okay. Let's see if we can get a close above and then a retrace back down. Let's see. That's a good question. I know I've received messages from people. I'm not 100% sure exactly how to do it. Oh, so Robin, when you're inside of Discord on the far right, it should show people that are online. You should be able to find me. Or maybe I'm the only one who can see this because I'm the owner of this Discord server. But you should be able to find my username somewhere in there. All right, Splash, no problem. Yeah, price action is looking good. Matter of fact, I should have taken this gravy setup. I just, like I said, I didn't want to trade during lunch, but oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, Robin, if you can't find it, I'll just give you my email address and you can send me an email. So just let me know if you can't find it. All right, anyone who took this entry, you're 25 points up now. Right, keep in mind there's a bearish fair value gap here at 335. Right in the orange is the manipulation leg down before price confirmed the breaker by closing above the manipulation leg down. A lot of times you'll also see price trade back to 50% of that level, and that is at 276. So we saw price break down not only to 50% of the breaker, 50% of the fair value gap, but 50% of this orange box, which is from this high down to this low, which was the last retracement leg before the push up. Let me just pull this out the way a bit so you guys can see. There we go. All right. Trend is your friend. Trend is your friend. All right, everyone. I want to thank you this morning. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for joining, being part of the live stream, and thank you for your enthusiasm and your continued support of me and the channel. On your way out, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're brand new to the channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Make sure you get invited to all the future live streams. And with that being said, I'll take a 1 hour break. I'll be back at 1300 and we'll do an afternoon session. All right. So take care and I'll see you in an hour. Cheers.